President Trump abused his power when he used his office to solicit and pressure Ukraine. We will show that he betrayed vital national interests by withholding diplomatic support and military aid from Ukraine.
Ukraine is a fragile democracy under relentless attack from Russian-backed separatists. They desperately need our support.
From the Patriot Hour, I'm here to reveal more Democrats on the House impeachment team voted against the aid package for the Ukraine that they now want to impeach Trump over. Another huge lie from the Democrats and the liberal leftist media. The Democratic Party and their colleagues in the liberal mainstream media, the fake news media, want to impeach President Trump for not sending lethal aid to the Ukraine quick enough. If you read the transcripts yourself, you'll see it's clear. President Trump waited 55 days before releasing our taxpayer-funded U.S. aid to the Ukraine government in 2019. Democrats want you to believe this was a crime or some kind of misdemeanor. But now there's this. Those exact very same Democrats on the House impeachment team voted against the aid package to the Ukraine last year. 3 of the House impeachment managers voted against the aid to the Ukraine. Representative Jared Nadler, Democrat out of New York, Representative Hakeem Jeffries, a Democrat out of New York, and Representative Zoe Lofgren, a Democrat out of California, all voted against the bill that included the aid to the Ukraine. And now we have to listen to Jerry Nadler and how he voted against the National Defense Authorization Act for the fiscal year of 2018 that also included aid to the Ukraine. And Jerry Nadler voted against another aid package to the Ukraine 2 days after he chaired an impeachment hearing back in 2019. Now, how will the fake news media spin this? Well, we know they will. Check this out.
Democrats making their case this week for why President Trump should be impeached for delaying aid to Ukraine.
President Trump abused his power when he used his office to solicit and pressure Ukraine. We will show that he betrayed vital national interests by withholding diplomatic support and military aid from Ukraine.
Ukraine is a fragile democracy under relentless attack from Russian-backed separatists. They desperately need our support.
But those very same lawmakers voted against the bill that included the Ukraine money. So why is no one calling out the hypocrisy?
Well, somebody is, and his name is DeRoy Murdoch, Fox News contributor, and he's here. DeRoy, break it down for us.
Yeah, it's amazing to hear these people on the verge of trying to pull the President of the United States out of office and send him back to Trump Tower over this 55-day delay in aid to Ukraine, when in fact they had the opportunity to provide aid to Ukraine and voted no. Back in 2018, there was the National Defense Authorization Act. It had $250 million in aid to Ukraine, and Nadler, Lofgren, and Jeffries, all of whom are impeachment managers, voted against that legislation. And then last year, just December 11th, as a matter of fact, Nadler voted against $300 million in aid. That was 2 days after he chaired a Judiciary Committee hearing on impeachment, and a week before he led the effort on the House floor to impeach the President of the United States. I find that absolutely breathtaking.
Well, and even bigger than that, I mean, so you look at the previous administration, President Obama sent comforters, he sent humanitarian aid.
Yeah, my pillows.
President Trump sent javelins.
Yeah.
So why didn't Obama send lethal aid?
Yeah, this is exactly right. He sent, humanitarian aid, my pillows, I suppose, comforters, and maybe cocoa or whatever it is, and they seem perfectly comfortable with that. And despite the delay in aid and everything else, what the Ukrainians got from the Trump administration was missiles they can use to demolish and deter and then completely detonate Russian tanks. Much different approach.
DeRoy, the catchphrase we keep hearing from House managers is that President Trump denied an ally at war critical aid. Bottom line, you say that's misleading and unfair.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately they got the aid. There was this 55-day delay. We're trying to determine if in fact, the new government opposed corruption. Could we trust them with this money? They got the aid. It was released September 11th, which was before the September 30th deadline, well before the deadline. They've now got missiles they can use to send back Russian tanks and detonate them if they come across any closer to Kiev.
Why has that gotten lost in all this, though? You don't really hear that much from the mainstream media, the difference between the two administrations' policies on this.
They hate President Trump, simple as that. They hate his guts. They want him out of office. They're not going to say anything that nothing will come out of their mouths that'll delay his departure from office, which is what they want.
Yeah, and the president's been open about his skepticism of foreign aid from the beginning.
Absolutely right.
Who are we giving it to and what are we getting in return has always been part of his
calculus. Yeah, that's right. And look, he has a responsibility to make sure that this money doesn't go down a rat hole or end up in foreign bank accounts or what have you. He didn't stop the money. He delayed it for 55 days versus the lethal aid, which the people of Ukraine had to wait over 1,000 days between the invasion of Russia by Russia and the end of the Obama administration. They didn't get any lethal aid under Obama. They got lethal aid under Trump.
Interesting comparison. All right, Jordan Murdoch, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
All right, well, up next, Super Bowl Saturday?
Yeah.